Hey there, this is Andrew, and I'm bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal. This is going to be a Mass Mutation deck, and who knows? Mass Mutation is just very, very fun, and I am really excited about Winds of Exchange, but can't get my hands on more of that right now, so pretty excited about the Mass Mutation. All right, so I've been getting a lot of these black and white Archon pictures lately. That's interesting. So this is Plaszap, the officer assembly rep. Okay. Uh, assembly representative, I guess. Well, I guess I'm thinking Star Alliance, Logos, and Sanctum. Pretty close. Shadows instead of Logos. That means any efficiency in this deck is going to be coming from the Star Alliance. That doesn't mean it'll be nothing. Star Alliance certainly can provide efficiency. So we'll see. In Shadows, I am looking for Amber control, maybe some board control. And in Sanctum, I'm looking for some board presence and Amber control in the form of capture. Maybe some nope effects too. All right, let's see what we get. Starting off, Ardent Hero, 4-power human knight with taunt, can't be dealt damage by mutant creatures or creatures with power 5 or higher. This is a really nice taunt effect. Like to see that. Ooh, then we have Bulwark, a 4-power mutant knight with 1 armor and assault 2. And each of its neighbors gets assault 2. That is also some nice board control. Cleansing Wave, love to see that. Especially in Mass Mutation, this can really add up to some crazy burst amber. So I think that's very nice. Wow, we have another one of these, and this one has both a capture icon and a damage icon. Cleansing Wave with a damage icon is pretty cool. I like that. Then we've got Lieutenant Gorvenal, a 4-power spirit knight with 1 armor. After you fight with a creature, Lieutenant Gorvenal captures an amber, and you can hide him behind the Ardent Hero. That's very nice. We've got Seeker of Truth, a 3-power human with 1 armor who has fight. You may fight with a friendly non-sanctum creature. That's nice. Notice it is funny, these are smaller than old school Coda AOA Sanctum, but I mean that was part of the deal with Mass Mutation, is that the size went down a little bit, but still a nice effect. Got another Seeker of Truth, and I'm hoping to get into some actions and artifacts and stuff here. Squire Alice, 2-power human with 2 armor, play capture 2. That's fine, but really we're at 6 creatures now. I'd like to see some other stuff. Amberheart, that's an interesting one. It's an artifact, an item. It has action, exalt, ward, and fully heal a friendly creature. That can be interesting. I don't love it though. It's a little slow for what it is, and the Exalt is kind of expensive, but we'll see. I mean, maybe nothing I've seen so far, unless you're depending on the Gorvenal to prevent you from losing, nothing I've seen so far is necessarily worth using Amberheart on. I guess, using it on Seeker of Truth, maybe it's worth it to have it survive a fight. Gizelhart Standard. Okay, things just got a little more interesting. It's an artifact with an amber. It's an item. When you play it, you exalt a friendly creature. However, each friendly creature with amber on it gets +1 armor. So that actually could work really nicely. Lots of armor going around. Oh, Scrivener Fabian. That should be interesting. Now, we only have 1 capture icon showing so far, so that's not very promising. But Fabian gives us 2 capture enhancements, so there's at least 1 more floating around. And we'll see what else, maybe other things in Shadows, for example, could give us some captures. Scrivener Fabian is a 3-power mutant with enhanced 2 captures, and she says that when you resolve a capture bonus icon, you may choose to steal an amber instead. That's a very nice effect. So I like that. We've got a charge with a damage on it, a damage icon. It always comes with an amber. It's an action that says play for the remainder of the turn. Each creature you play gains play. Deal 2 damage to an enemy creature. That actually makes the 7 creature count not so bad if we can get a nice charge turn. So I'm okay with that. All right. That's an interesting Sanctum house. Would love to see more capture icons show up. Maybe we get them, but they're just in the other houses. But I don't have my hopes too high. Okay, next we'll go into shadows. We start with Dark Wave. It's an action with an amber that deals 2 damage to each non-mutant creature. Ooh, look over there. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature. If it's not destroyed, steal 1. Those effects all play really nicely with the cleansing waves. So happy to see that. And then Mutant Cut Purse is a 3-power Mutant Thief that gave us 3 damage enhancements. Have we seen all 3? I think 1 on charge, 1 on cleansing wave. So there's at least 1 more damage icon somewhere. Okay, Seeker Needle, that's a good one. It's an artifact, it's a weapon. When you action it, you deal 1 damage to a creature, and if the damage destroys the creature, you gain an amber. That can be quite good, especially with effects like Dark Wave and Look Over There. We're not getting a Rad Penny here, which is a bummer, because that works really well with Seeker Needle, but that's okay. Shoulder Id is a 6-power Spectre with Taunt. It can't fight, and when it would deal damage, you steal an amber instead. Subtle Auto is a 1-power Mutant Thief. When you play it, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Okay. Got another Subtle Auto, this one with a capture icon on it. That's our other capture icon. We haven't seen anything else yet that would add capture icons. Borrow, that's some artifact control. It's an action with an amber that lets you take control of an enemy artifact. While it's under your control, it is House Shadows instead of its original house. That's pretty nice, potentially. Lights Out, action with an amber that returns 2 enemy creatures to their owner's hand. That's a very nice effect. Love that. We don't have a lot of steal so far, though, right? I mean, Look Over There is, I think, and Shoulder Id could. But really, Look Over There is the only semi-reliable steal card. Ooh, another Lights Out. This one with a damage pip on it, which is nice. That can pop a ward. Interestingly, that cannot go through in countersuit. That's pretty important to know because the damage pip would remove the ward if there is one. However, the encounter suit adds the ward between the bonus pips and the play effect. So it actually would not work unless your opponent's creature had no ward and was 1 damage away from being destroyed. Old Bruno, 3-power Elf Thief with Elusive and play Capture 3. That's fine. Would have rather had the, what's her name, who gives the 3 capture icons and makes elusive creatures, makes creatures with amber on them elusive over this, just to pair with the Scrivener Fabian. Reckless Rizzo is a 1-power Elf Thief with elusive and action, steal 2, and then she loses the elusive. That's a pretty strong effect. Weak against damage pips, but can be pretty strong. All right, that's like an okay Shadows. I love the Lights Out. I always love seeing that card. I like the Borrow. There's some disruption. Not much steal, though. There's some burst in Sanctum. How many creatures did we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in Shadows, which means if we get 5 in Starlines, we'll be at 18, which is pretty. That's pretty solidly middle of the pack, I think. All right, Commander Chan. All right, 4-power human, fight Reap, use another friendly creature. Got 2 of those. That could pair really nicely with the Sanctum, and it's kind of interesting with like a Seeker of Truth because you can use one Chan or Seeker of Truth to activate the other one, and then use the second one to activate something in shadows potentially. So you can really get some house cheating going on there. Observe You Max is an upgrade with an amber that gives a creature Fight, Reap, Capture 1. Red Alert, potentially good board control, although with how much board we'll be putting down, maybe not, but a good backup to have, and can really segue nicely into those cleansing waves. So happy to see that. Scout Pete, 4-power alien with Play, Fight, Reap. Look at the top card of your deck. You may discard that card. Then we've got a Secura Droid, a 4-power robot with Taunt, but it can be played as an upgrade that gives the creatures attached to Taunt. We've got Sensor Chief Garcia, 3-power human with Play, Fight, Reap. Keys cost +2 during your opponent's next turn. Teleporter Chief Tink, 2-power alien with Elusive that can action to swap itself with another friendly creature in the battle line. And if you do that, then you can use that creature this turn. And we're already at 6 creatures here, so we're at 19 total. We're really over. Yeah, we're on the lots of creature side here. Detention Coil is an upgrade with an amber that says this creature cannot fight. Ooh, Lay of the Land, always love to see it. Action with an amber that says look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order, draw a card. Okay, General Order 24. That's an interesting one in a deck with so many creatures because and no Kirby, because it means that we can really get into a blow up the board fight. But I think it means it probably won't benefit us that much to be in that blow up the board fight. So that's kind of interesting and maybe a bummer. But I love it as a card. So, What? And then a Quixxle Stone, which is an artifact with an amber. It's an item. It says if a player has more creatures in play than their opponent, they cannot play creatures. That is really interesting with the General Order 24. That's a real recipe for board destruction. And, if we had like 12 or 14 creatures in this deck, I would be pretty thrilled because that means suddenly, like, wow, we just don't have to worry about the opponent's creatures. They'll be constantly dead. But as it is, I fear that this is not going to help us enough. How many pips do we have here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, and yeah, and those cleansing waves really want a big board. So I think there's a decent amount of anti-synergy there, and ultimately I'm not too happy with how this deck shaped up. Doesn't mean it's horrible. I'm going to guess it's like a 68 or something like that. We'll see. Let me load it up. Oh, 61. I overestimated the SAS for it. Strong creature control. But yeah, lower speed, that would factor in. And really only moderately, 57 arc is not great. And then pretty low synergy score, so which is, I think, appropriate. So, yeah, I pretty much agree with that. Still seems fun. Still seems like a fun deck. Wouldn't cry to open up something like this in sealed, but not gonna run a vault tour with it. So that was Plaszap, the Officer Assembly Rep. Hope you enjoyed and that you will get out there and forge some keys.